In this presentation, I'll give you an overview of the integration between SciGen, SciCapture, and M-Files. So who is SciGen? We were founded back in 1995, very mature capture company. We focus on innovative capture, so cutting edge technology that'll help you automate your process as well as make things more efficient when scanning or capturing images. And our whole goal is really to give you one capture application for all your needs within your organization. So the nice thing about our product, we've got it in use from everything small one-person law offices all the way up to large corporate enterprises and everything in between. It's a great product, very affordable, very flexible, and a deep feature set that lets you do all kinds of things to really improve your image processing capabilities. So before I get started, I always like to define the difference between a scanning application and a capture application. Scanning applications give you the ability to integrate with a scanning device and really quickly and simply create a digital image of a piece of paper. Okay, they're typically appropriate for onesie-twosie scanning, but anytime you get over a handful of documents, they can become cumbersome and very time-consuming to process all those different documents. Capture software really focuses on taking the scanning operation to the next level. Really look at automation and efficiency to make the whole process very quick, get it done, and move on to your next task. Okay, so if we take a peek at what I like to call the capture equation, what SciGen brings to the table for the M-Files product is we give you the ability to round out what I call the capture equation. So you can scan from any type of device, whether it be a desktop, ISIS, Twain, or VRS scanner. Maybe you have scanning copiers or a fax machine. Maybe you have a write fax server and you want to archive your faxes into the M-Files repository as searchable PDFs. Maybe you have digital photographs you want to process, production scanner, or maybe you just want to enable a hot folder where you can drop any image file in and have it auto-processed. We can process it, extract data, and post to the M-Files repository. So from a front-end integration perspective, what we've done is we use what we call template import, where we can actually download from the M-Files application after entering the server and some credentials, all the vaults as well as all the document classes. So I can enter my information, I can click on the type of document vault that I want to link to, and then I can pick my document class and bring down all the fields along with all the field criteria. So it really minimizes the configuration that needs to take place for the SciCapture application to integrate with M-Files. Now on the back end, okay, once we're done processing, so scanning, capturing, processing, extracting data, one of the things that we provide is a true back-end integration with the M-Files repository. So once again, we can integrate dynamically with vaults, document classes, and we can either scan to an existing document class or we can map to a field. And then we've also got the ability to set fields, set customized file naming capabilities, and then you can also integrate with conditional migration, which is something that allows us to migrate to multiple back-end vaults depending on specific document criteria. Okay, so really what SciGen brings to the table is we give you the Swiss Army knife of capture. You can do everything from bait stamping, redaction, invoice processing, forms processing, fax processing, OCR, and the list goes on and on. Process it, post it into M-Files. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and give you a quick overview of what the SciCapture to M-Files integration can do for you. And let's go ahead and shrink down my PowerPoint. This is the SciGen interface, and it can either be run in an automated fashion, which I'll show you next, or it can be run interactively from a desktop. All in one application, very simple to move through the different steps or modules within the capture workflow. And in this example, my first demo, I'm going to go ahead and show you some invoice processing. And we're going to let SciCapture do some data extraction for us and make the whole process very simple. So let's go ahead and click on Capture, and I'll go ahead and click my, my document type for AP. And with site capture, you can integrate with a direct connect scanner. You can point it at a network directory. So in this example, I've got an AP batch that I want to go ahead and bring in. And I'll go ahead and kick off the capture process, create a batch, click OK. And it's going to go ahead and bring in these invoices. So you can see at the end here, I'm going to have 6 invoices. And within the capture module, there's a lot of things I can do. I can crop, redact, I can insert, replace pages, I can change my image processing settings. But in this particular example, we're going to move on in the workflow. And we're going to let site capture auto extract the invoice header information. So it's going to parse the pages, extract the invoice number, invoice date, all the separate information. And then it's going to kick me into a quality assurance queue. Now in quality assurance, you're going to see that the process wasn't perfect. There were a few things that we couldn't read. So I can come in and fix those now. So in this case, I'll enter a date for my invoice here that was missed, and I can tab through my fields. And what you're seeing here is a nice easy spreadsheet representation where I can come in and enter data that was missed. I can also run database lookups. I can tab through my fields. In this case, this was a handwritten invoice, so we'll go ahead 22798, enter our information. So I've got the ability to QA my data as well as I can QA my documents. So if I wanted to come in, let's say, and examine my documents, I can crop, redact, insert, replace. I have full editing capability in here. Okay, so I'm done now, and the next 2 steps will be automated. So I've collected my data, I've QA'd it. Now I'm going to create searchable PDFs, and then I'm going to migrate those PDFs intelligently into the mFiles repository. So as the migration process is happening, there we go, I'm all done. I'll go ahead and open up my my mFiles Explorer here, and you'll see that now I've got my invoices. So within the mFiles interface now, I've got custom named files, and you can see that I've got the vendor name dash the invoice number. And if I click on one of these, down below I've automatically populated fields with information. So you can see I've got invoice number, vendor name, the date, the invoice total, all of that populated automatically within the product here. Okay, so it makes it real easy to come in. If I wanted to open up a document, I can take a peek. I've also got full text search capability. So if I wanted to look for, let's say, the word bearing, I can do that. You see it found that same invoice, and if I open up the invoice, I can then search within the document. So it not only gives you search capability by the different fields, but you've also got full text search capability with the mFiles indexing functionality. Okay, so that's an overview of an interactive process. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is actually an automated process. So let's say that you've got these expense reports, and you've got a bunch of different branches, and at the same time every month folks walk up, they go ahead and scan their travel expenses. Okay, now these documents are actually barcode enabled, and they've got the employee ID, the department, a bunch of different information, the last name of the employee. And the goal here, if we come in, I'm going to go ahead and copy these. And what I'm going to do here is simulate the process of somebody walking up, putting their expense report on the copier, pressing the green button, goes into a hot folder. Site capture is actually watching the hot folder. So it's going to monitor the hot folder. Anytime an image gets dropped in there, it picks it up. And in this particular example, it's going to read the barcode, extract all the data, and then route these expense reports into the right vault within the mFiles application. So it'll take a second to pick up depending on what site capture is doing in the background. And we'll give it a sec here. There we go. It queued up the expense reports. Now it's processing them, reading them, it's archived them. And if we come into our root here, and I've created a little view for all my expense reports. We'll give it a minute because it sounds like SciCapture is still doing some processing. And at any point in time, we can come into the batch manager and we can actually look at the different processes that are occurring within the processor within SciCapture. So there we go. So this batch is complete. You can see there were a total of 3 documents and 3 total pages. So now if I open up mFiles and click my refresh button, come in here, and the expense view hasn't populated yet. Sometimes it takes a minute. But if we take a look at these now, I've got my expenses here, and what I did is I extracted information from the barcode automatically, and I named it last name dash employee ID, and then I put a date stamp on it. You can see I did some other unique things here. If I click on the file, I've actually populated all my fields here, or properties like last name, employee ID, department, but I also built out a keyword population with all the information that was collected from the barcode. So I've got a lot of different options in how I can now search for these documents, either by the properties or fields, by keyword, or by full text. Okay. So once again, full end-to-end solution with SciCapture is the on-ramp for advanced capture and processing. And then on the back-end system, you've got a very capable system in the mFiles document management repository. If you have any questions, you can contact mFiles, or you can contact Saen at sales@scigen.com. Thanks.